In a pivotal moment for India-Sri Lanka relations, President Anura Kumara Dissanayake is set to sign 4 key agreements, including one on cyber security when he meets Prime Minister Modi today. Now, Mr. Dissanayake, who touched down in New Delhi last evening, is on a historic state visit from the 15th till the 17th of December and his first international trip since taking office back in September. Now, during this visit, he will also meet with our President, Draupadi Murmu, and engage in high-level talks with Prime Minister Modi on a range of pressing bilateral, regional and global issues, is what we're told by the Ministry of External Affairs. The President's agenda includes attending a major business event, this will be in New Delhi, and visiting the sacred site of Bodh Gaya as well. By the way, this visit is seen as a significant step in strengthening the robust, multi-dimensional ties between our two nations. And Mr. Dissanayake's choice of India for his inaugural foreign visit, it does send a powerful message, as many have highlighted, underscoring his commitment to deepening Sri Lanka's ties with its neighbour. Analysts, in fact, argue that this decision is a clear signal of the importance that he places on fostering a closer relationship with India, especially after the unexpected rise to power, breaking free from the traditional political elite.
After a thumping victory in his country's parliamentary elections, Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake is all set to shape Sri Lanka's future and his first course of action, reaching out to crucial ally India. Dissanayake, often referred to as AKD, has arrived in New Delhi for a 3-day visit. He is accompanied by Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister and Deputy Finance Minister. Choosing India for his first foreign trip as president marks a shift in Dissanayake's foreign policy, moving away from China. Despite his past support for left-leaning and pro-China policies, the Sri Lankan leader has stressed that he will not let Sri Lanka be dragged into any geopolitical contest between New Delhi and Beijing. The visit marks a new chapter in the often complicated Indo-Lankan relations, especially considering India's historical tensions with the JVP, the party leading Dissanayake's coalition. The JVP was notably opposed to Indian interventions, particularly during the 1980s when the India-Sri Lankan peace agreement was signed. Dissanayake too made his name during the anti-India protests in 1980s. However, he has since toned down his anti-India rhetoric significantly, indicating his willingness to work with New Delhi. As Sri Lanka plays a key role in India's Sagar and neighborhood first policies, Dissanayake is expected to engage in talks with Prime Minister Modi, Foreign Minister Jaishankar, and President Murmu. Key topics are likely to include investments, infrastructure connectivity, debt restructuring, and ongoing fishing disputes. As Dissanayake begins his official visit, it will be interesting to see how India engages with Sri Lanka's new president and how the visit shapes the future of Indo-Lankan relations. With Disha Bakji, Bureau Report, NDTV World.
My colleague Mohammed Ghazali is tracking this touchdown very closely. He joins us live at the moment. Ghazali, as you have been reporting, India and Sri Lanka are set to sign 4 key agreements today. Take us through the details you know and also the plan of action.
See, Parmeshwar, particularly we need to understand that besides these MOUs which we generally sign with many countries or the head of the states who visit here, what is the other significance of this visit? This is the first official visit of the Sri Lankan president who has come to power just last month, or in November the final vote count was done. And why this is significant? Because we know that how China is expanding its influence in and around the Indian Ocean region. We saw the regime change in Bangladesh, then Bangladesh's Jamaat party and other members were hobnobbing with the Chinese. We also saw how Maldives, the president there, President Moizu, he also came to power on an anti-India plank, but he recalibrated his approach with India. India took out developmental projects in Maldives. Similarly, with Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan president has a history of his political ambitions or political journey through anti-India plank, but after that, what a wise move was Delhi was that before even the elections, the same president had visited here, India, and has met Dr. Jaishankar. Immediately after his victory, Dr. Jaishankar visited Colombo, being the first Indian official or any senior official from any other neighboring countries to visit Sri Lanka, extend the invitation, and now the president is here. What Mr. Sri Lankan president is expecting from India, he has praised in the past about the Aadhaar card kind of enrollment back in Sri Lanka, or even cooperative like Amul. And besides that, the maritime security is one area where India will certainly would like to have a joint cooperation, because on India's insistence, Sri Lanka had worked on the suggestion of not allowing Chinese rings in the Indian Ocean region near the Sri Lankan waters. So these are certain issues which will certainly come up for discussion. But besides that, there will be MOUs on different sectors which India will likely to have with Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka also knows the fact that back in 2022, during the economic turmoil there, India was the first one to offer a bailout package for Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka knows it very well. And that is why even the new president who has arrived in India, these issues will certainly come up. Another major issue which has not made the headlines is about how India has been working on public diplomacy. We know that there is a large section of population which is Buddhist. We have, and the president is also expected to visit Bodh Gaya in the Gaya district of Bihar for religious tourism. So these kind of avenues are there for India and Sri Lanka to work together during this trip of president.